if when you wear weave and a piece of that hair falls in your food.
I don't wear weave.
Oh. If you wore a weave
Uh-huh.
and a piece of your hair fell in your food, is that like over with?
It's real hair.
Okay. But if it was your hair that fell in your food, you're okay with that, right?
No. Also gross.
You're getting rid of food if your hair fell in the food?
If any hair is in my food.
Your hair.
Okay, it depends. If I just see a hair of mine like on top and I can just remove it, but if it was like in my bite and I pulled it out of my mouth, I'm throwing up and the whole thing's going in the trash. It's disgusting.
Okay.
Even if it's my hair.
Oh. Okay. Ugh. Pretty sensitive. All right. I wonder if other people feel the same way. Let's bring that mic just a little bit closer to you.
I was feeling
Jesus Christ. Did it just fall apart?
Yeah, I think so. What happened? No, it's not me. It's a whole thing.
We are never without technical difficulties, people. It's always something.
I think that's how it goes.
It's always something. It just is.
I bet people can relate that do it.
But we made it to episode 100.
That's exciting.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for rocking with us. This is the 100th episode of the Feelings First Facts Later podcast, a podcast where we saying shit, but we ain't saying shit. And this episode is going to be a fun, not so serious episode. At least I don't think so.
I don't have anything serious.
Okay. Yeah, neither do I. But, you know, you never know how that conversation is going to go.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. So while we're not on a not so serious topic, let's talk about something. No, I'm kidding. So 100 episodes. How's it feel?
Congratulations.
Actually, I did the count on it, and I want to say, if I remember correctly, this would actually be 102. 102.
In totality.
In total.
Okay.
In total. To include the Michelob's a Melon an hour.
Okay.
And yeah. Which I feel like it should have been more than that. But somehow the count.
I thought you did like a handful of those.
I felt like I did more than that. But for whatever reason, the count that is on the Apple podcast list, it was saying that episode 99 was actually, maybe episode 99 was 102. So this would be 103. I don't know. Okay. But we're over 100 episodes recorded for the podcast as far as like content that's been put out.
Right.
However, this is 100 episodes that has been put out as far as the main show goes. And 97 with you.
How many did you do with Sue? 3 or 4?
2 or 3?
2? Okay.
She didn't last very long before it was like
remember.
Yeah, because we actually did episode 1 and 2 in the same night.
Okay.
And so then
maybe it was one more after that, maybe.
The feedback that she was receiving from the first one, even though the second one wasn't even released yet, was a lot. And then after episode 3, if there was an episode 3, it was like, this isn't happening anymore. Yeah, it was it. So, but we are here, and it's I was thinking about this the other day. It's almost weird in a way because we have so much of us put out on the internet, hours and hours, easily over 100 hours of us, because we've had each episode is over an hour, right? And the most recent episodes have been pushing an hour and a half, which it hasn't been feeling that way. We've just been doing it. You know, it's not like we plan, we're going to make the episodes longer. I don't even know if people like longer episodes or short episodes. But we just go. And if you want to stop listening, and you know,
right.
when you've had enough of us, we completely get it. We have enough of us.
Listen.
Too. But we've put out so much content that I feel like if someone wanted to do some sort of AI generated version of us saying something, or even if you hear about, you know, in the future they talk about, you know, where you could take someone's consciousness and you could take all the content that they've created that's been put out to the public. And with that, you can almost create a version of them to where if someone wanted to have a conversation with that AI version of you, it would be good enough to kind of determine what you would say in that moment.
And I feel like we've covered so many things
that it wouldn't be too hard.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I think about?
What's that?
I think about our children listening to us one day as adults. Like, how cool.
Yeah.
Like for you to listen to your parents now as an adult where you can appreciate that they were talking about and like get to know them in a different way.
Right.
And you're like, oh, they were talking about this or this is what they were going through and I had no idea because I was a child, as you shouldn't have an idea. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I think that's really cool. It's like finding your parents, like, well, your mom more than your dad, I'm guessing, like a journal that your mom kept and reading it later in life or something.
Yeah.
I think it's cool.
Yeah, it would be pretty cool. Because I can even just thinking about the things that blow my mind whenever I see my parents, like even if it's in pictures and they're doing something like, oh, they're being silly, oh, they're doing this, oh, he's in the pool stands, oh, I didn't know you drove that car. Yeah. You know, it's just all these things that you don't know about your parents. Because
conversations.
How weird is that you really don't know who your parents are.
No.
Unless you have one of those parents that has established that relationship where they don't set boundaries between child and adult.
But even then, I think those types of kids, because I know some people like that, they wished later that their parent was more like discreet.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. But outside of that, you typically don't know who your parents are.
Right.
You know, like
more as an adult, but even then there's things that you don't know.
Still things that you don't know, you don't understand.
Yeah.
I think with us doing this, it would open up this thing where they would 100% know what type of person we were and how we felt about things and how we
and what our relationship looked like.
Yada, yada, yada. And some of the things that we decide to share, even though we don't share a lot, but the things that we do decide to share, oh, okay, this is what was going on in their lives.
Isn't that crazy that we share a lot, but we don't really share much?
I know. And you know what?
If we're really being honest, like we share a lot, but this is like this much.
Yeah.
And like with our what actually goes on in our lives.
Well, and here we are, we're late with this episode. So this is going to get put out on today's the 25th. So this is the Friday the 25th. It's going to get put on the 25th. It's being recorded on the 25th. So as soon as I'm done recording, I'm going to edit the audio and get the audio out. But this was supposed to be put out yesterday, which didn't take place because of personal stuff. But then we were also supposed to have an episode, something recorded for last week because we talked about how we didn't want to keep this thing up where we're leaving
gaps
and weeks and yada, 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 just not being consistent. And it sucks. It definitely breaks our heart whenever we don't get to do it. But I know a lot of people say this where, you know, there's things going on in life and yada, yada, yada. No, there's legit things going on in our life that most people would never experience anything like this from
not even like
both ends.
Right. Never experience any of the many things that we have been dealing with.
And we talked about it off air yesterday that maybe one day we might do like a series where we kind of open up the book or our metaphorical book and kind of talk about some of the things that
I would be okay with it when certain chapters are actually closed.
No, right. Not while things are open and things like that. Obviously.
Right.
And that's just not for personal purposes. That's legal purposes. So just to give you all an idea of what the fuck we're dealing with. Like we're talking about keeping our mouths shut for legal purposes.
Yeah, like having to.
Right. So there's that. But a lot of things do.
And because it involves other people, it's a lot.
And just to be clear, it's not that we don't have necessarily the time to record. We have the time to do it. We've had plenty of hours to sit down and record, but headspace is a thing. So so I guess we don't have the time if you're talking about healthy headspace to
where
get
we can
something
actually,
out where it's not going to be compromised.
Right.
We're not going to just be doing it just to do it. And then now you're listening to something that you're just like, I could just feel this negative energy going through.
Yeah.
You know, so it's not that we don't have the time and our lives are too busy because
they are.
It's busy.
Granted,
it's 100% busy.
We do make time.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Right. But for instance, we choose this as something that we do during our downtime together.
Instead of watching a show. Like where most people would be laid up in bed watching TV, we could do that.
We have not watched a television show in such a long time.
No.
The last show we watched was Last of Us But even then, we started that
Months ago.
when the series premiered.
Yeah,
And
months
then
ago.
after episode 3, we fell off, and then we ended up having one night where we were able to stretch it out and watch 2 episodes, and then months later we were able to stretch it out and finish it out. But it just goes to show that this time that we're doing would be time, even if it's time that we just spend away from one another, where it's like, okay, well, we just need to, you need to have your spare time, I need to have my spare time. So yes, we do have time to do it, but we also don't do other things that a normal couple would do.
Yeah, that most people do, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's that. But yes, the point I was trying to make is that I know we get on this podcast and we make up excuses as to why we skipped a week. But just know, and the people that know us know, but just know that these excuses it's not because we're being lazy, not because of anything other than it's like real shit going on.
Major,
real things.
Yeah.
Real things. And not only do we have to deal with it, but then we have to, as a couple, get through it.
Right.
And that doesn't always look pretty.
Right.
You know, even though it has nothing to do with the two of us. Like, as far as things
like
that are going
our
on,
relationship.
That's way easier to navigate. We're talking about extrinsic factors.
Right.
So, whew. Yeah.
Well,
there you have it. There you have it. But yeah. 100 episodes. We're excited about it. We're going to do all sorts of like goofy shit and yada yada yada, but that didn't happen because life is happening.
Right.
But we're here. So.
Yeah, but you're gonna do something cute.
So since we're talking about AI, and clearly we've made enough material to where our personalities can be somewhat digitally replicated.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on this whole AI dating thing that's taking place?
I don't know. Tell me more.
So it's becoming this common theme where people are even going on Hinge and Tinder, and they're making relationships with an artificial intelligence thing. Like, I don't want to say being.
Oh, yeah. I've read something about this. Like, a woman actually married her AI.
And they know it. So it's not like they're being catfished.
Up.
They 100% know it. They're having conversations with this person.
What do you mean go on Hinge?
Well, people are going on actual dating sites and meeting AI things on Hinge or Tinder. But they're not being catfished. So it's not like they think it's a real person.
So it's a profile that'll say like AI?
Yes, because that's would you want to date me? That's it's a profile.
But who is creating this?
Some fat Mountain Dew dude drinking dude.
But it's
in
not.
The basement.
It's not them. I'm confused.
So I'm sure there is a space where it is the person that is creating an AI generated significant other.
Okay.
But then there's also a space where people are meeting AI significant others on dating websites.
I heard of, I don't think she met him on a website. I heard of a woman who created her ideal partner with AI.
Okay.
She did it like intentionally though. And then she had a whole relationship so much so that she married this man.
Okay.
But it was a completely not a real person. And she said, he's perfect because she created him.
Right.
That's a fucking crazy.
So both ideas are to me equally crazy. Right. But what are your thoughts on the idea that now people have access to? It could be personalities that are created from other personalities out there. And so now you're able to have back and forth exchanges and send text messages and yada, 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 and all this other stuff. What if there's an AI Cristina and someone has, what if someone created a you already from all the episodes, the 100 episodes, the 100s of
That's
hours,
creepy.
the 100 hours.
Can I sue somebody for that? Like, how does that work?
I don't know. I would imagine you could sue someone for
Like if
using
they're
your
claiming
likeness?
that it's me.
Probably if they're claiming it's you. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, I wonder how that works. Because can you sue somebody if they used you to catfish?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
I've never heard of
I
it.
don't know
And
how that
I've
works.
seen about 8 seasons of that show, and I haven't heard about one lawsuit. I would imagine if you could do it, it would have been done, right?
Oh, God.
Maybe you can't because there's probably not laws for it yet. But in the future there might be
There
laws for
needs
it.
to be.
In the future.
Yeah.
But there's no law because if it hasn't been an issue until now, then there isn't a law for it. Almost like how, you know how that works.
I know how that works. Yeah.
Yeah. These laws are being written by.
I think it's creepy and it's weird and it's crazy and it's dysfunctional. But then I wonder, is that just me because I'm old? It makes me think like, am I my parents when we were doing shit and they're like, what? They didn't understand. Like, is it really that crazy and bizarre? Or is it just because we come from a different time so we think that way?
So just to play devil's advocate and kind of shoot those people bail, I think that it is within us to create bonds with other things, right? Like you create this bond where you can have communication, you can have relationship, you can love, you can rely on, like that's a part of our DNA. Now, typically it's done with another human being, right? It's usually done by
or
way
like
of
a tangible thing, like people do with animals.
right. So, but it's usually done. Well, but even then, I can make an argument that those people that love on their dogs all crazy, that I think there's something wrong with that. But that's just me, right? Especially if they don't have children, and now their dogs are their children. It's like, no, that's because naturally you desire children because that's a normal thing to be a human being that is
wants
designed to build connection with another human being and procreate, and you keep your right, and to love and to hold and be there for, nurture. But because you skip that step, now you're filling in a gap with your pet lizard or your turtle or dog or whatever the hell you choose. I don't know. But getting back to the people that are having relationships with artificial intelligence is because that is such a natural thing to want to have a bond with something, right? Typically it will be with a person in a personal communication, in a personal relationship. You're so desperate that you're willing to get it from anywhere, even if it is this thing that isn't real, and it's not real, but
it's real enough
but it's real enough because it satiates you as far as what you're desiring. It's giving you attention. It's always there. It's not going to get mad at you if you text it, at 3:00 in the morning. It's not going to get mad at you if you say something inappropriate to it.
Yeah, and that's where I think that's why that wouldn't work and last. Because naturally, we need obstacles and we need to clash and we need to fight and we need to get over hurdles to then strengthen bonds. So that's where I go, unless like you can create it where like it argues with you every once in a while.
Yeah.
And just, keeps it
and maybe there are programs for that. And you could probably tweak it and you can, send it any kind of way you want. I think it's all bizarre. If you ask me,
I mean, same.
Because I'm old school. You give me a classic woman born that way, I'm cool with that. You see what I'm saying? I don't need nothing extra, but that's just me. But I think it speaks louder to the need for connection, and we've lost so much of that because of this. Yeah. Internet, digital era, yada, yada, yada.
But then we're going to the internet to try to fix the problem the internet created.
Because you're falling, now when you're falling, you're grasping at anything that's going to catch you.
Yeah.
And this happens to catch me, and it's there's no way you can lose with it, right? It's a fail safe. Like you said, you have this thing that you could program, so you don't have to. And I'm going to use this as an example because this sucks and this is a shitty feeling, but everyone has experienced this if you've been out in the dating world, right? or most people probably experience this if you've been out in the dating world, right? You create a profile, right? Whether you feel confident or not confident about yourself, you create this profile, you put yourself out there in hopes to be liked by a good amount of people.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wants that, right? You want to be desired, right? I think it's safe to say that we all need that, right? So you finally find someone that you desire and they desire you, or you're interested in and they're interested in, right? And then you get to this phase where you're starting to put yourself out there because now you're trying to get to know this person, because you know that deep down it is possible that they're talking to other people and you might be talking to other people or maybe not, but you're trying to be the winner. And then out of nowhere, it's just done. It's just over with. Whether you met them or not, or you never got to meet them, but you spent time thinking about them, and
then just like ghosted you.
Say, even if it wasn't a ghost, even if it was just like a taper off.
Okay.
That feels terrible. That sucks.
Okay.
Because you had hopes for this person. You were excited at least to meet them.
Okay.
Maybe not to make them your wife or husband, but you felt good. They made you feel good, and you had dopamine firing off at cylinders because you're getting attention from someone.
And I guess then you wonder, like, what happened? What did I do wrong? What did I say wrong?
Right.
Or like,
or even if they explained it to you, it's still crushing.
I get it.
Right? Where I'm getting at is that is failure that you have to be willing to accept. And a lot of people don't want to step into that realm to even run the risk of having to deal with that damage.
Yeah.
So now,
and a lot of people today aren't built for that.
Right. So now this program has been designed to where I get to text and talk to and yada, yada, yada without this rejection or the idea of rejection, unless I want it to happen, which is not healthy. It's all sad, but.
And there's no longevity there. Like, that's not going to last.
Yeah. But I think it just speaks to our innate desire to want to connect.
Right. So instead of connecting, we're just fucking things up even more.
Right. Watch this. When we went out to eat at that nice fancy Italian restaurant that I took you to on your birthday because I love you, that place, we saw a gentleman, and awkwardly, he was there for a good amount of time before his two escorts showed
20,
up.
30 minutes.
Right. And so here he is. He showed up with two escorts that did
and
not.
We felt it out and listened. Eavesdropped long enough to know what the fuck was going on. Yeah,
we're not just saying this because we're speculating. No. We were ear hustling. we know what's going on. This guy shows up again. Nice ass restaurant.
Yeah.
If you're gonna take escorts somewhere, they didn't deserve this place.
And not those two.
Yeah. These were not top tier. But because he got two of them, he probably got the discounted ones, right? Yeah. So he had one black woman, and she had her lace front was all jacked up. I mean, it looked crazy.
Yeah.
And she sat down, and when she sat down, you could tell that she was not of the class to be at a place like that.
Yeah,
because she presented like, oh damn, it's fancy.
Yeah,
like she couldn't even
play it off.
She couldn't play it off and keep her composure. Yeah. And this was a professional, right? But clearly, she hasn't been around these types of places, so it was new to her, and she was. And it was very obvious that she was excited to be there. But it was a place to be excited about. So I get it. I'm okay with that. And then the other one showed up, and she was a chunky white girl, right? And she was a little bit more awkward than the black woman. A little bit.
The black woman was speaking more.
But through ear hustling, they did not know that the two of them were going to be there. Yes. I think they were both under the impression that this was going to be a solo event. Which I'm guessing that's how their typical evenings go. Right. And so now they're finding out that it's about to be a threesome type of deal.
Right.
And this gentleman was very weirdly maintaining a conversation with them, but really just venting. Like he was just spilling out everything. Like he was talking about, his past relationships and why they typically don't last and
Mhm.
why people don't, choose not to be around him. And then he was
And
he
then
was
they
just
brought him a
real.
bottle of wine and
And
like,
he was like pretty much the only one drinking.
yeah, they served them, but
They
I think
served
he
them.
was the only one.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But where I was getting at to compare this to the AI thing was
Uh-huh.
just the desire to connect, because that guy wanted to connect. He
Yeah.
wanted to speak. And I also think he wanted to murder them later on.
Yeah,
I
it was
think
really weird.
that was when I say he had like American Psycho vibes,
Yeah.
because he looked like a clean cut guy. But if something was off, because he sat at that table by himself for a while,
And even him
just kind of
speaking.
like looking, but the way his tone was very,
And then the things that he
very
was choosing to
computerized.
talk about were just like,
It was monotone, but it was also,
Yeah.
it was I can't explain
yeah,
it.
I know.
It was almost like the Jeffrey Dahmer, like
Yeah.
when he's in the room speaking, like that's
Yeah.
how he
Yeah.
that's how
it
he
was
was
weird.
speaking,
Yeah.
and they felt it, especially the white one.
Yeah,
I
she
think
was
the
uncomfortable.
white one was not comfortable
No.
at all. The black one was still like, oh shit, y'all got spaghetti.
Oh no.
And then he was ordering for them,
Yeah,
but because they were classless. So there's that, but not because they're escorts.
No,
Because I would imagine
there is a caliber
of escort.
Exactly.
100%,
Right.
100%.
For sure.
These were not that
No.
caliber. They were. But if you're getting two, I ain't mad at you. You got two. So regardless of, it doesn't matter what they look like. I think at that point, when you're talking about a threesome, it's okay if they're not dimes.
I guess. I mean, I guess. I don't know.
I don't think, from guy to guy, I don't think that a guy would be hating on another guy if he saw that the threesome was with 2 4s and 5s. Like you're not mad at that.
And
You're
this
like,
is just what you do.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Clearly, it's what he does.
Yeah. Well, he was desiring attention.
Yes.
Desiring attention. But the best part about the dinner that you and I had was we were such in awe about the ambiance and the Italian food and just everything. And the
And
one
we had
guy,
really good service.
we had really good service.
Yeah.
What's that Steve Urkel instrument called that dude was playing?
An accordion.
Accordion.
Yeah.
He was playing the accordion. He came and played us a song.
did.
It cost me $10 goddamn dollars.
Yeah.
Can we talk about that real quick? Can I just pause for a second and then I'll
Okay.
get back on track?
Okay.
It's not fair that we didn't ask you to come to our table and play a song, but you came to the table and you said, "What do you want to hear?"
Right. Not
Now,
can I?
an asshole would say nothing, move
Yeah.
on, but you can't do that.
No.
You have to say, "Well, can you play this?"
Uh-huh.
And then he plays it. He's looking you in the eyes, and it's
Yeah.
a little
It
weird,
is a little
but it's
weird.
cool because he's actually really good at this thing. It's
Yeah.
like, how
He
does
knows
he
a lot of
remember all these
songs.
songs? Because we just heard him play at every single
All the
table a different
songs.
song,
Yeah.
right? And he's playing with whatever you requested,
Yeah.
whatever you requested.
Yeah.
But then you want money,
Uh-huh.
so you're assuming that I have cash on me because he stood there. He stood there.
I know. And
So I didn't have.
Yeah.
I did have cash, but I had a 20,
Yeah.
and I didn't want to give him a 20. So I had to have the waiter break the 20, which is the most annoying thing on the planet because now I have to have 4 5s in my pocket, which I hate. I like a crisp 20. I don't want 5s. I want a 20 because I really don't want to spend a 20. I want it to just look nice in the wallet, just in case.
Okay.
Emergency thing. I guess this is an emergency.
Obviously.
So the guy comes, back around
Uh-huh.
and he asks to play another song. I say,
No, I think he did.
No.
Did he do Happy Birthday?
yeah, that's what
That's
happened.
what it
That's what
was.
happened. He came, he did Happy Birthday. I slipped him a 10
Uh-huh.
because I figure, okay, 5 for the first song and
Right.
5 for doing Happy Birthday. And then that's when he said, "You want another song?"
And we were like,
No.
we're good.
No,
Yeah.
I'm done.
Don't
I'm done
worry
giving you
about it. We're
5s.
good. Yeah.
I'm done giving you 5. Not fair. That's not fair. No one asked for that. No one asked for that because if there was an option to make sure that he skipped the table. I would have had him skip the table, mainly because it's unnecessary. Like it was cool, but I didn't need it. But also it's kind of embarrassing because now everyone's looking at him and is looking at you, and then you looking at him, and then he's making eye contact with you.
No, and you're like, do I keep looking? Do I look away?
So then I had to ask a question, and the question I asked was, what are your keys made out of? And he was like, mother of pearl. I was like, oh yeah, as if we didn't know that, but because we're just so
you have to
weirded
say
out,
something.
you have to say something because he's just standing there. He should have just done this. This would have made way more sense.
And
because,
you're like, oh, okay, yeah.
Because also, I thought in a place like this, there's no way he's going around panhandling for cash.
Well, yeah, I was like, babe, you got to give him something.
You would think he's a part of the thing, and they just split this crazy tip.
Okay, to be fair, I don't think everybody gives him money, but you're supposed to, and you should.
Okay, well, clearly, but we did see that the gentleman at the table next to us, he did give him money. Yeah, well, and I think, did he pay for the black couple?
It's the right thing to do. I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. No, because
maybe before we got there.
Yeah, maybe before we got there. Yeah. Who knows? But yes, there's that. But circling back to my original point, we're enjoying this entire restaurant, and our dumbasses said this: we can't wait to go home and watch The Sopranos because we've never watched it before. I know. Holy shit. I know. And later on, I was thinking, yo, how racist are we that we're...
You're like, this... What brought it up? Well, just because where we were.
Well, clearly because of where we were. Yeah. And it looked like it was... You know what it was? It's because this place was clearly... It looked like it was started by the mafia. But that might be racist too. That might be racist
and
to say
I think
that
you
too.
said that. Like, Italians have a problem in general with, like, people thinking... No, Italians in general don't like that people assume that everybody's family is in the mafia, which I understand. Right. Nobody wants to necessarily be tied to something like that.
Yeah, I know. But people that are not Italian don't necessarily look at the mafia and think like shitty people.
No, I know.
Like they're usually like cool gangsters. Like they're not.
Yeah, but they don't do good things.
I know
so
they do horrible things. Yeah. Right. If you're Italian, I can see where you would get offended and be like, I'm not that. Don't associate us with that. Like, we're doctors, lawyers, we're good people. Exactly. I get it. But I don't think that they're looked down upon like
I don't think that matters to them. Yeah.
You know, kind of thing. Yeah. Like, we look at the mafia as like, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
Right. But we've also never been affected by the mafia. Exactly. Like, we've never had our father get beat up on because he
or one of our family members went missing.
Right, because they didn't pay up or you know whatever the hell may be. So there's that. But but our dumbasses couldn't help but to think we haven't seen The Sopranos.
Yeah, you're like, have you seen The Sopranos? I was like, no.
And we're gonna go home and we're gonna watch it. And you were like, yeah, we should definitely go home and start watching The Sopranos.
Because I've always wanted to watch it.
With a stomach full of pasta.
It was delicious.
It was delicious. It was delicious.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's that. That's how we felt. That's how we felt.
I want to go back there.
I bet you do. I bet you do.
We should make that a thing.
Yeah, we should. We should make it a decade thing. Yeah, we should.
A decade thing.
Every decade. Yeah. Well, you can't do it too often because then you won't appreciate it as much. And this is me.
That's not true.
Me speaking from a frugal tongue.
Okay,
like I'm trying to
call
convince
it what
you.
it is.
I'm trying to convince you.
Because that's not true. You can appreciate it every time.
Yeah, I'm sure you can. It was very delicious.
Yeah, it was. Because I want to try other things.
What a blessing.
Right.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to me.
Yeah, happy birthday to you.
Thanks, babe.
Yeah. Speaking of prostitutes, you're not going to believe me. But I found it. And I know that you're going to think I'm making this up as soon as I say it. And I'll explain to the people why you would think that I would be making this up. But I'm not making this up. So don't you know how we have prostitutes that walk up and down a major intersection?
There are, or we have?
We have a lot of prostitutes, like us, like our city, like we have.
Okay.
Or should I say? What,
I would say there are a lot of prostitutes that walk up and down major intersections.
Do you think we have insinuates that like we, as in you and I, have?
No, it like sounds like we have prostitutes like right outside of our neighborhood or something.
We do.
No, we don't.
Are you serious right now? Have you walked up and down that street? It's not that. I run that.
There's prostitutes?
Yes, I run around them from time
No,
to
you
time.
don't.
You just don't know because they don't look like prostitutes to you. But I know a prostitute when I see a prostitute.
Do you?
Yes.
Okay.
Anyway. Anyway. At the major intersection close to us, I saw one with Down syndrome. I swear on everything. I know you're going to think I'm making this up. I'm not making this up. And the reason why she thinks I'm making this up is because Netflix just released a new show, and it's I guess you say kind of like a little brother to Love on the Spectrum. It's called Down for Love, which I try to watch because I love Love on the Spectrum, but it was a little bit too much for me. Like I actually felt bad.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like they were being exploited kind of thing, even though I was happy for them because you saw the excitement. Like I was very happy for them when I saw the preview.
Yeah.
But when I started watching the show, I just felt like they were, being taken advantage of. But all that aside, I swear on everything. I'll take a picture of her next time. But then you might think I'm making fun of her, but I'm not. But true story.
How do you know she was a prostitute?
Do we really have to do this? You're so green. Do we really do this? She's standing on the corner.
I mean,
her stomach's
I've seen
out.
prostitutes.
Yeah.
But, okay, fine.
They don't look too obvious, but they're obvious enough.
They look obvious as fuck. What are you talking about?
Not always.
Okay, well, I guess the ones I've seen.
Where have you seen them?
On OBT.
Okay.
Yeah.
So why did you say that they're not right outside our neighborhood?
No, not OBT downtown.
You think that they will just stop there? Like they won't walk up?
Yeah.
For the homeowners? The homeowners don't deserve any prostitute pussy?
Jesus Christ.
No? Not enough? While we're on I guess you could say dirty talk, but maybe not dirty talk, but kind of dirty talk. The actress, or is it actor? Do we say actress or is it actor?
I thought you could say both.
The
one that told me it's not okay. Listen, I don't know. What's wrong with actress?
The woman that plays a role in Orange is the New Black, right?
That was so bad.
Yeah.
Poor thing.
Yeah.
I feel sorry for her.
Yeah.
That was terrible.
If you haven't seen it, you need to check it out before it gets removed. But her name is Taryn Manning, Taryn Manning. She basically went on a diatribe about this shitty situation that she was in, pun intended, where her boyfriend, who is now her ex-boyfriend, she found out the hard way that he is a married man, right?
And she was blackout drunk.
She was clearly
to
blackout
be fair,
drunk in her automobile.
Yeah, she didn't know. She woke up to that the next day and was like, fuck.
Yeah, what was
she
I
had no
thinking?
idea what was happening.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a terrible situation. But she's talking about how he used to come over and she used to eat his ass and all this other stuff.
She's going to buy him a boat.
And she was going to buy him a boat because she loved him. And then she stops herself from breaking down. She kind of broke down.
Yeah.
I mean, this was all a breakdown.
Yeah.
But then she almost started crying.
Oh, God.
She's talking about how.
And then she started it by saying, I had to pull over to tell you about this. So
well,
she's
she
on
had to
the
pull over because
fucking
she's going
road.
to fucking crash.
No, but she probably wouldn't have pulled over. She probably just drives around
Can you
like
imagine?
this. God.
Maybe her pulling over saved her life and someone else's life.
Someone else. It's never them.
Yeah,
it's always someone else.
Right, because they're in there just going with the motion. They just walk out like, oh, look what someone
happened?
did.
Yeah.
Someone's an asshole. Who did that? But no. But she kept on going on about how she was eating his ass, and because he liked it, and she was like,
he kept
she was
coming
like,
back
ain't no
for
wrong
more.
with that, and I liked it. Is that okay? But I felt so bad for her because
it was sad to watch.
funny, but
Yeah,
then
but
sad because I know where she's coming from. Even though I've never been in a situation where I was licking someone's ass and then come to find out that they were with somebody else, but I can
And then
imagine
you're blackout drunk on the internet talking about it.
Oh, Jesus. I don't know what's
That
worse.
part.
I don't know what's worse. What she's going through or the fact that what
She put it all
tomorrow's
on
gonna look like.
blast.
And by tomorrow, I know that this came out days ago. So she's definitely
Yeah.
seen it already. And I think she had an apology
And
But
she should have started with,
no
I'm
one,
checking into a fucking rehab
no one wants to see
facility.
the apology.
No.
No, we don't give a fuck. We get it.
Yeah.
We know you're sorry. I want to hear you talking about how you ate this dude's ass and how he's a piece of shit because it turned out he was married. Joke's on you. But to make it even worse, and it seemed like she might have known this woman because they had an exchange with one another, or maybe she was just saying she didn't like her because of just the exchanges she had with the woman.
Mm-hmm.
But
The wife.
But she was talking about how the wife was upset with her as if she knew
She was the problem.
but she didn't know this. She was saying, "Hey, I didn't know. I was single. This guy, you know, made me fall in love with him, and I was eating his ass. And come to find out, he's married to you, but he's coming to get his ass eaten by me, and he liked it." And then she says,
"It was really bad."
What a terrible feeling.
Which part?
Well, just
the whole thing.
No. All jokes aside, just the shittiness that the shittiness that people could display by knowing that you are involved with someone else and you're living this double life and you're dragging someone else into your double life without even taking them in consideration at all.
So you're saying shitty for them or shitty of them?
No. I was saying shitty for her. Like
right.
That sucks for her.
Yeah.
But it's shit of that person. That person's a piece of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Assuming that she didn't know. Because it appeared that she was the victim in this.
Yeah.
But clearly couldn't handle it. And I couldn't help but to think she looks like she's still playing her character in Orange is the New Black.
I never watched the show. I knew she was on it.
She looked like her character. Her character was like this meth addict. This meth addict that's in jail and is like just this but she's turning her life around. She's found Jesus. Like she's all the way off. Like clearly she's off.
Like that.
And I'm trying to figure out if she's still in character. Like if she was done such a good job at method acting that it just like took her over, or if she was playing herself the entire time because
right.
she looked
wasn't that right.
like that. Now I know like her face is going to change, but she just looked like her character, like she should have been in an orange jumpsuit. But she was also drunk as hell.
Yeah.
Online, and it doesn't help that she's not very attractive. She's Chihuahua, like Applehead Chihuahua vibes.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah, see? And you know what's so sad is that I said that and you didn't even laugh. Like you agreed with it with like
conviction.
Yeah. Like you're like, yeah, like we're looking at a fucking painting.
Not a human being.
Yeah.
It's what it is. People look like things.
Yeah.
Yeah, it happens all the time.
Well, there you have it. But terrible. So if you haven't watched it, go ahead and watch it before they take it down because it's something to see. We love this shit.
What?
The messiness. It's the best. It's the best. It's been a good week.
It makes me sad for people.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. And like secondhand embarrassment is a thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes me uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
That one, I was like, oh, I couldn't watch it all the way through.
I get secondhand embarrassment when I see people sing and dance or dance. Like
what? And what?
Like
in what scenario?
Like if it was a talent show and someone was singing and it was just bad.
Really?
Yeah, and it just makes me like stop. Just make it stop. Like it just makes me very uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable. It's like ugh. Because there's nothing worse than not knowing that you suck at something. Like you're the last person to know.
Yeah.
And now everybody knows that you suck, but we still have to act like you don't suck. I would feel less comfortable with it if it was in a setting where it was okay to boo. Because then now it's just funny. Now you're just a part of a joke. Because you're at least entertaining us. It's like when we go to a comedy show, it's funny watching people bomb. Because you're still funny.
But that's part of the experience too, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So either they're going to be funny or they're going to bomb.
Not. Either way, it's funny. Yeah.
But as long as we get to boo, then it's all good.
Right.
But if we have to pretend to like it and then it's just crickets, it's crazy. It sucks.
Well, get ready because we got to go to talent shows and sporting events, and you see what that looks like.
Well, and you know how I feel about it. I think that they suck. kids suck. And
I know, babe.
and
But you can't say
but
that.
but
And you can't.
they're already told that they suck. We went to an event where there was a choir, and they had the choir, and then they had the advanced choir.
Yeah.
Now,
No.
anyone with 2 eyeballs and that knows how to know some things would know that the ones that can actually sing are a part of the advanced
Right, and everybody else
choir.
it's
Because
just
it's not like you have
just
to.
public
It's not
school
that there's a
elective.
test. There's not a test to it.
No. Or a tryout for a regular
The
choir.
test is what you sound like,
Yeah.
right? And the
They
instructor,
accept
the
everyone.
teacher knows.
Yeah.
They accept everybody,
Yeah.
everybody, and it is horrible. I honestly feel like if you are a responsible parent that cares about their child, you wouldn't.
You wouldn't allow it?
No.
You can't. You have to let the kids do what they want to do, though. And you have to go to these things. And you have to clap.
And
you gotta
rub their
tell them they
shoulders
did a
and
good
tell them they did a
job.
good job. Ugh.
Oh my God. Get ready.
Get ready. Okay. Second embarrassment. Yeah, it's a thing. It is a thing. Big
You're the worst.
big Donald Trump got his mugshot out there.
It looks how he does any other
I know.
other time.
And you
Why
know
are
what?
people so like
Can I tell you
obsessed
something?
with this?
This makes me want to vote for him even more. Like it's just it's a fire story. You know what would be an even better story if he was elected president while locked up. Because
can that happen? I don't think so.
it can. I
don't
think
think
it can.
so.
I think it can.
I don't think so.
I think under the Constitution, I could be wrong. This is the Feelings First Facts Later podcast. I don't know shit from shit, but I think that there are only 2 stipulations to be the president of the United States, and that is American born and over the age of 35. I don't think there's anything in there that states that
you can't be incarcerated.
I don't think that. No, if the people vote for you, if the people vote and they vote for you, I think you could be a sitting president, and then watch this, pardon yourself.
Yeah.
If that can happen, I don't know if it can happen, but I'm pretty sure. I think it can happen.
That sounds wrong.
I think that he could be in jail and he can still run because it doesn't stop you from running. You can run. Anybody can run. I could put your name on a ballot. You could run.
Well, I know that.
Right? So anybody can run. If they vote him in, I think that he can
pardon himself.
Yeah.
It's just
that would be
so
some
crazy.
Fly shit.
It's such a joke.
Fly shit. What are your predictions? Do you think that they're going to go through with it?
I don't even know anymore, to be honest with you. I don't know. And I guess I don't really care.
So my knee-jerk reaction is this. I have a hard time believing that the United States of America will incarcerate. Is that right? Say that? Incarcerate? Lock someone up?
Yeah.
Lock someone up that has the credentials that he has.
But why? Because it makes us look bad.
Well, I guess I know why go there.
I guess that's where I go. If you're gonna let it go, they would have let it go.
They would have let it go already.
Why did they let it go this far? Like instead of like getting rid of it.
And that's what makes me think that they just might do it.
Yeah.
But for a while, I was saying there's no fucking way they won't do it.
I would have agreed with you if it hadn't gone this far.
Mm-hmm. Like when it first came out, and now he's cool.
Because you hear shit like that all the time about everybody, and then it goes away.
Yeah, it's just a scandal. It's all good. But they've gone pretty far. And what also makes me think that it could really go down is the fact that now he's a part of a RICO. And so all it takes is for one person to fold and the whole thing is fucked. So but we do know that there is this thing called mistrial. And so even if they find him whatever.
Mhm.
It doesn't take much for something to be a mistrial. And with all this, with him being a public figure,
Yeah.
it's hard for him to go through some sort of court where he's
Where it's fair.
right, and there's a jury of people that don't know anything.
Yeah, it
Fuck
doesn't
out of
exist.
here.
Yeah.
Doesn't exist. They were all, Democrats. Like that's,
Yeah.
that's not, yeah. So if he stands jury, I don't know. I don't exactly know how it works. Would he
With-
be in front of a jury or
Why wouldn't he, I guess?
I don't know. If it's federal, is that?
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. See, we don't know shit. See, we don't know shit. See, that's why it's perfect. But from what I understand, there are a lot of ways to get out of this shit like this.
I guess we'll see.
Oof. But yeah. But the shirts look fire. I've seen shirts
Of the
that
mugshot?
they're selling. Yeah, of the mugshot.
Really?
Yeah, they look fire. Dude, he's the first black president.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
he's down for the cause. Down for the cause. But there you have it. We love the monkey shit. Like, we love it. It makes us feel better about everything. There's the drama, because it's just life would be too boring if it wasn't any of that kind of stuff happening.
It's gotten pretty ridiculous.
As far as
All the things. It looks crazy. We look so crazy as a country.
okay. Yeah,
It's too
outside
much.
looking in.
We have too much crazy shit.
But you know
going
what it
on.
is? We're popping.
I guess.
Popping. So it's like, yeah, we might have a lot of crazy shit going on, but we're free. We're free to do pretty much.
Well, I guess that's probably the
do.
problem. Partly the problem.
And
we're free to do whatever the fuck we want, and we don't know how to act.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if we were Canada?
Yeah.
And we had some bullshit like what Jordan Peterson is going through?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? Like, to not have freedom of speech, like an actual freedom of speech.
Yeah.
And then your professional license is being dangled over your head because you were saying something that was within the parameters of what you should say as a therapist, right?
Yeah.
Now you added in some political things because you had a political opinion about, your prime minister, which might not be the best thing to do when you're in a country that doesn't have freedom of speech. But besides all that, like, can you imagine having to go through that shit where the things you say can really, 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 really
fuck up your whole life,
fuck up everything, and then they make up rules in different things that you have to do in order to get that back, but then they paint it as, but you're not being punished. It's like, so what?
Then what is this? Yeah.
What is this? No one looks at Canada and goes, "Oh, we like that dog and pony show. Let's watch that." No, this circus here, this is the shit. Hell or high water, it's undeniable. We got it. We got it. And it's not to say that we're the only ones that go through shit. There are other countries that go through a lot of shit. Like the whole trans movement and all that stuff. That's not exclusive to here. That's shit's going on over there too. But no one gives a fuck.
We're doing it the best.
We're doing it the best. We do everything the best. We do drama the best. We do everything. Good, bad, whatever. Fucking, we have a president that is about to get locked the fuck up. A former president that could potentially get locked the fuck up. Oh, and did you hear about this?
What?
They're trying to say Obama is gay. You didn't hear that shit?
I feel like I've heard that before. I feel like I heard that a long time ago.
I don't know what
that he had a lover.
I don't know what the Obamas
Didn't this come up when
doing.
the last time he ran?
I'll be lying to you.
Was it the chef?
I was. Dun, dun, dun. I don't know what the Obamas have done to be put on the spot, but they are really getting it bad. So yes, they just had that chef who can swim, who allegedly drowned in the lake at their home or close to it.
Yeah, while paddleboarding.
And the Obamas weren't around apparently, but yet the phone calls and the records were scrapped. Like something
I don't
funny
know.
that
I don't know anything about that.
It has. This is a conspiracy theorist like
A dream.
It's like you can't make this up. Like if someone said it, you'd be like, you're fucking crazy. But supposedly that's what happened, right? Now there might be an explanation to all of it, which there usually is.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's happening, right? And then now they've redacted, not completely, but they redacted in no. Redacting is when you
Correct.
they unredacted
Okay.
the letter that Obama sent to like his ex-girl from, years and years and years ago, back when he was in college, I think. And it was basically saying to her that he fantasizes about men or, some shit like that. Like, I don't know in full detail, but just paraphrasing it, it was him talking about he wanted some boy. You know what I'm saying? And it's just weird that all of this is just
Imagine.
and
It
then
would shock me.
and then of course with it there are people talking about, oh well, what about Michelle? We knew Michelle was a man.
Well, yeah,
And
exactly. Yeah.
and there's no pictures of her being pregnant
Right.
at all on the internet ever.
That was also a thing before.
A little strange, right?
And I mean,
I would say, well, it is disrespect because I'm guessing the only reason why I feel like it's disrespect to her is because she's a black woman and black women just get shit on all the time.
Yeah.
So this is just another excuse to shit on a black woman and say she's a man and yada yada yada. Even but I don't think she's an ugly woman. But maybe I'm just saying that because I have respect for Michelle because she was the first black first lady.
Objective.
But I also don't look at her like that though.
You don't have to look at her. You, of all people, you can't look at her.
Let's say this. No one was more disrespectful to Michelle Obama than goddamn Viola Davis. If you all have not seen it, you all need to look at, it's all over YouTube. If you look at Viola Davis playing Michelle Obama, she is fucking disrespectful because she was making all the crazy Michelle faces.
It looked like a parody. Like, it's like, there's no way that this is real. And it was supposed to be like a serious thing.
So unnecessary.
It looked crazy.
So unnecessary.
And so unnecessary.
Because you could have played her.
You're playing her. We don't need
and not do that shit. Like, it's not like, it's not the same thing where if you were playing, what's dude's name from Queen? The main guy from Queen, Freddie Mercury. Yes, so they put the teeth on him to show him. You see what I'm saying? Like, that makes a little bit more sense. But the face, like, it was crazy. Because it's not like she always makes that face.
No.
But Viola Davis was like...
She leaned heavy into it.
And maybe it is a joke.
You think so?
Maybe. Well,
I think it's supposed to be serious.
Okay, I've never seen the show. I've only seen the YouTube clips. So it's possible that it could have been like a Saturday Night Live kind of thing and Michelle's in on it. If it's a serious thing, how do you have because I'm sure they've been in rooms together.
Obviously.
After.
Yeah.
Like, how does that go?
And Michelle's like, this fucking bitch.
But she can't do that.
No, but she can't.
Because she's got to be a politician. She's got to be better than that.
Oh my God.
Yikes. Speaking of which, who's getting in trouble for that right now? And not really, but kind of is Bradley Cooper. I think that's the one. I get him and Matthew McConaughey mixed up.
You get them all
They're the
mixed
same.
up.
I'm telling you, when it comes to white folks, some of you, you're blended in. But if you understood how my brain worked, it would make a little bit more sense because I group people into colors and shapes. And so Matthew McConaughey and Bradley Cooper are they're the same person. It just is what it is. It just is what it is. Because it might even be, it's Bradley Cooper. He's getting in trouble for he's playing a Jewish lawyer, I believe, in an upcoming movie. And so he has a prosthetic nose.
But that's not on him. Like, he doesn't choose that.
Yeah,
they make him do it.
Yeah, true. Fuck you guys. That's them. They did it. but people are saying that that's anti-Semitic and yada yada yada, and that's not good and all this other stuff. And but it's like,
But it's
but we do it all anytime we're being a character, especially if that thing makes them that.
so if they would have casted a Jewish actor with a big nose, would that have been wrong?
No, but only because people do that.
What do you mean?
Like people, for instance, remember there was a big debate where if you were acting like you were gay for a role, but you weren't really gay, then that was a bad thing. Remember that shit? Like, why wouldn't you just pick a gay actor? Well, because I'm fucking acting.
Right.
That's why.
Yeah.
And I don't think putting on a nose is too crazy. No more crazy than doing the big teeth for Freddie Mercury.
Right.
Especially if that was something that made that person that.
Yeah.
I don't say the same thing about Michelle because that face.
It's a face.
That face.
Right. An expression.
I can't even do it.
And
I can't even
so
do it, but
crazy.
it looked crazy. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. But you know what? The one thing that I fear, and this is just going to kind of get serious. The one thing I fear with the whole anti-Semitic thing getting thrown around, as much as it's getting thrown around, is that it's going to end up becoming a new racist.
Oh, for sure.
In terms of no one gives a fuck about hearing racist anymore, because it was so overused that it's taken away what actual racism is. Same with anti-Semitism. You know, and that kind of, I guess we could kind of backtrack on a previous episode that we had. Maybe it was the last episode where we were talking about Jamie Foxx.
It was the last one.
And Jamie Foxx said something after listening to multiple podcasts talk about it. I was educated on the idea that what he said had nothing to do with Jewish people. Okay. Because people have found out that it was the Romans that killed Jesus and it wasn't the Jewish people, because historians discovered that Jewish people would have never they didn't use crucifixion as their way of execution.
But that's not general knowledge.
I know. And
so that's a reach, I feel like.
And my brain initially goes, well, who the fuck made that change?
Yeah, and who got the memo? Because
but that's what we're supposed to believe now. What we're supposed to believe now is that it wasn't the Jewish people that killed him. It was the Romans. So it would be anti-Semitic technically to assume that if he's saying that, then you're thinking about Jewish people because it wasn't them. So now you're placing blame on them and they shouldn't have got the blame anyway. But it's this loop. But where I was getting at is I just wanted to clear up the air that terminology that he used is something that supposedly a lot of people of color use. Like the term, like if they hung or if they killed Jesus, what do you think they'll do to you? And that was in terms of saying no matter how good you are of a human being.
So it was a saying more so than
it's a saying. It's a general saying that people have said forever. And I've never heard that saying before because I grew up around a bunch of heathens. So that wasn't anything that was uttered in my home or, you know, amongst anyone that I've like. I grew up around niggas. Like we weren't saying some. If they hung him, no. We didn't grow up around holy, high and mighty people. That wasn't. People were going to church. We were like, you showed the church Christmas Eve and Easter, Easter, but that's just to show the fuck out. That's not because of your love for Jesus. No, it's the love for the outfit. Now. You know what? Oh, now it's a completely different ball game. Not so much now, but that's how that works. But
right.
So I want to get on the air and clear that up that we were saying it wrong. But even then, and this is where my brain goes, well, when did this flip happen?
But that's what I'm saying.
Because
I've never heard this before.
If the flip happened, and when I tried to look it up, but I didn't do an extensive Google. But when I Googled, when did the change occur from Jesus being crucified by the Romans, not by the Jewish people?
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
it said that change took about in the 60s, 1960 is when that was discovered and then altered. So pretty fucking recent, if you ask me. So if that saying was in rotation before the 60s,
which it probably was,
then, but that's not to say that he was speaking in terms of that, because it would just be like this. It would be like if I say that's retarded, I'm not talking about people with a mental handicap that need help.
Right.
I'm just saying that that's dumb. Or like more recent, this is kind of one and the same, but a little bit different, but like spaz.
Mm-hmm.
Remember Beyonce got in trouble for saying spaz on that ass or whatever she said? Like, she's not talking about anyone with any.
Yes, but people would argue that doesn't matter. Then that's why we need to change. But I understand. Right. I understand what you're saying.
Right. So then, even though I'm defending what Jamie was saying, but I'm only doing that because of we said something like we had one idea of it, and then after hearing more, my ideas changed. So this is kind of my way of saying, hey, I don't die on the hills of the things that we say. Like, we just say things and then getting more information. I'm okay with having a different idea, a different opinion of things. But yes, even though that might not be what he meant, right? You know, clearly it can be taken somewhere else. But my main point for bringing this all up is because that term anti-Semitic, it's just being thrown out there for things that are not truly hate, right?
Right.
I fear that term is going to get so overused that it's not going to matter. And this is my conspiracy theory hat that I'm throwing on, but anytime that I see things intentionally, or at least it appears that it could be intentionally getting overused, I think that that's by design.
Oh, for sure.
And I think it's coming from people that aren't even of that race or of that ethnic group in order to be a part of some sort of agenda to downplay what it actually is. Because once we bastard or we overuse the word, it becomes nothing. It's just a word that's being used. It doesn't set off the alarms like it used to. You call someone a racist, people don't go running for the hills at them with pitchforks
not anymore.
And want to crucify them. You just go, yeah, what did he do?
Right.
And you go, okay,
it's regular shit.
Yeah, it's regular shit. And that's so that the wolves that are actually doing things that are anti-Semitic, that are racist, that are xenophobic, homophobic, whatever you want to call it, those people that are actually doing those things, then now they could kind of hide behind this veil of a word that carries no weight. Because what does it mean?
Yeah.
What does it mean? So we did get serious.
You got very serious.
Ooh,
you can't help yourself.
Can't help myself. No. No. But yeah. We're here. You ready to get out of here? It's a little shorter than our previous episodes have been, but I feel like this is a good stopping point.
It's been a little while, I think.
A little bit over an hour.
Okay.
So, but I think the last couple episodes have been like closer to an hour and a half.
Yeah, I've enjoyed them. I watched us on YouTube.
Oh, you do?
I did.
Oh, you do? Oh, I ran into a bunch of issues with getting that video uploaded on YouTube.
The last one?
Yes.
Why?
Yes. Well, at first, I thought that the video was getting flagged because I said something.
You say all the things.
I know. So at first I thought it was flagged. So then I had to go look into it and it wasn't flagged. What happens is that because that file was so big, the computer kept going to sleep. And when it would go to sleep, it wouldn't upload
You were having an upload issue altogether,
it was
though.
like, what the hell? But it was just so it came out mad late because I was just having issues because I'm thinking it's out. Because before I could just hit the upload button, walk away, and then it's there. Right. And I usually don't watch it because I've seen it during editing and I'm just trusting that it's there and it's there. And sometimes it'll pop up on my feed because the YouTube account that I use on my phone isn't the same as the Feelings First Facts Later YouTube thing.
Oh, so you'll be on YouTube and it'll pop up?
Yes.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Because I'm subscribed. So anything that I'm subscribed to
will come
shows up.
Yeah.
But I didn't think anything of it because I've just been so involved in looking at Mortal Kombat updates because I'm excited about Mortal Kombat coming out.
Oh, it's all you've been.
It's all
I hear
it's
in
all
the
I
background.
give a fuck about.
Yeah.
So,
for now.
It's all I give a fuck about. Anyway, so I didn't think anything of it. But then I tried looking it up. I was like, oh, well, this is weird. Let me pull up the podcast because I wanted to see what was going on and it wasn't there. So I was thinking, oh shit, it got flagged because I said, I'll say it backwards, hats small. So I'm thinking, oh fuck, now they're coming after me because I said this. But I'm thinking like, well, I could just been talking about anything because no one knows what I'm talking about unless you know what I'm talking about. And if you're assuming that that's what I'm talking about,
that's on you. Yeah.
That's on you.
Yeah.
That's on you. You know what I'm saying?
But that wasn't it.
That wasn't it. It was because it didn't finish uploading. So I had to go back into it. And sure enough, it was like 97% or some shit like that. It was right there. It was right there. And then I clicked it and then it finished in 5 minutes. Like myself. All right, let's get out of here.
If only.
Let's get out of here.
Whatever.
Thank you for rocking with us. This has been it's been a good time. I thoroughly enjoy doing this. Regardless of
I know, I guess we didn't I thought we were gonna talk more about that and
what? How much we enjoy doing it?
Not that so much, but I think
we can talk about it. You want to talk about it?
No, it's fine. No. I thought you were gonna bring up something else.
Like what?
I don't know, because off camera or off whatever, you were like, oh, we could talk about like past episodes and
yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, so now you all see that we really don't prepare for this.
You do.
Yes and no. Oh, and you were supposed to do something.
Yeah, I have that too.
Well, let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, because if you don't do it now, then you're gonna have to find a whole new thing because all that shit's gonna be old shit.
I don't know how recent this is anyways.
Oh, you don't?
Well, one thing I saw today. Because I originally had 3 things. Then one, I was like, that could get too serious, so I don't want to go there. I'll save that for another day. Then I had another thing pop up. Okay. So I'm just gonna.
So basically, what she's trying to do is, what does Chris think of this? But for me, so she's gonna fire some questions off at me. Okay, that's fine.
I don't have a jingle.
Just shake your titties a little bit, and then I'll add some sound effects to it.
Oh my god, I'm not gonna do that.
Scared.
Okay.
We were originally gonna fuck on camera for episode 100. That was what's gonna happen.
That's also a lie.
Okay.
Jesus Christ. Okay, so I'm gonna read. I can't do it like you. I don't know. I'm just gonna read this, and then you're gonna tell me what you think about it. Okay. Oh wait, that's my daughter requesting more TikTok screen time.
Of course.
So 1 second, because she's not gonna leave me alone. I'm gonna approve this. Sorry. So, okay. Okay. The first one is. Why do I think this is so funny?
I don't know. I haven't heard it yet.
Painful erection causing deadly spider spreads panic in Austrian supermarket.
Wait, painful erection?
No, painful erection causing deadly spider.
Oh, okay.
Spreads panic in Austrian supermarket.
Can I have 2 of them? Those are my thoughts. That's what we're doing, right?
Okay, yeah. All right. Florida woman covers herself in Mountain Dew to wash away DNA after killing roommate.
She's white as fuck. Right?
Clearly.
Okay.
Yeah, Florida woman. Okay, last one. Husband went 20 years without speaking to his wife since she upset him.
Gotta be Asian.
They were.
They were. Yeah, see.
How did you know?
Because who else will hold a grudge like that? They kill themselves on like dishonor shit, right?
So listen to what it says.
Okay.
So they're from Japan.
Okay.
And it said the husband went 20 years without speaking to his wife. And they had kids, but the 18-year-old son was like, enough already. So he set up like a date where the parents met like in a park, and he took them to the park to like have a conversation.
Yeah.
But the child, their child was saying that he only spoke to the wife through nods and grunts his whole life, the 18-year-old. And then it turns out that he was holding a grudge because of the attention that she gave the children.
Jesus.
So he was jealous.
Typically, a guy would like that shit.
Isn't that crazy?
Like, I like it when you give Allura attention and I can just, like, slither out of the room.
And go play Mortal Kombat and watch Mortal Kombat videos? Okay.
Fucker.
You said you were playing something.
The beta.
Okay. I don't know what any of that means. Okay. Then, yes, you're right. It was a white woman, obviously. Florida woman. What else would she be?
Well, I guessed white, not because of Florida.
Well, they're
woman,
from Daytona.
No,
Daytona Beach.
Still wasn't guessing white because of that. Mountain Dew.
That's what white people, I don't know. I don't
blacks don't drink Mountain Dew. That's white people shit.
Is it? I don't know.
Do you know any?
I don't know anybody that drinks Mountain Dew, so I don't. Well, I guess, yeah, to your point.
You also don't associate with. You know what I'm saying?
That's not true. Well,
can you name 5 white friends on
We're
one
not
hand?
doing this right now.
Okay. What does Chris think of this? Okay. So she poured Mountain Dew on herself.
Yeah, so apparently she killed her roommate.
Okay.
She's a woman in her 30s, and her roommate was like 80 years old or something.
Damn.
And they live in Daytona. She's a fucking meth head, if you look at her picture.
Oh, yeah.
So what sparked it was there was a house on fire.
Mm-hmm.
So then when they get there, they find a body, a bloody body. And then later on, they're looking for her. She's a person of interest, obviously. Yeah. And then they find her later walking on the side of the road, covered in blood. And she was holding a bloody hammer. And then was denying everything, obviously. Then said that she was thirsty and asked for a Mountain Dew. They gave it to her. And then she started pouring it on herself to try to get the blood off.
I wonder if that worked. She might be onto something. When you think about it, just to compromise all the blood.
Yeah, but she was holding a bloody hammer and walking on the side of the road.
Could have been her blood.
Well, they're going to find out that it wasn't.
Not if there's Mountain Dew compromising the samples.
Okay. Well, that would be wild.
That would be wild if she's onto something.
If she's onto something.
We see that there was clear bludgeoning involved.
But.
And you were holding a hammer. What?
Yeah. Yeah, so who knows?
We don't know whose blood
I'll
was.
have to look that up.
Yikes.
Yeah.
I still want to know what happened to that old woman that went into the hospital and shot her damn man.
I was going to ask you about, because I want to say that was Cocoa Beach, I think. It was another beach town. Or was it Daytona also? Was it DeLand? I don't know. It was close by because we were jokingly saying we could go sit in and see what happens, because that's typically open to the public.
Yeah.
And when I read this, I was like, oh, I'm going to ask him if he's heard anything about that other.
I haven't looked into it.
Yeah.
I haven't looked into it.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the first one?
Oh, the first one. Okay. So.
The spider.
Yes. So there's something called a Brazilian wandering spider.
It would be Brazilian. To make you hard.
What does that mean?
Brazilians, Okay.
Anyway.
No, stereotypically, if someone's talking about a hot woman, they're usually talking about a Brazilian woman.
Is that right?
Yes, motherfucker. I'm not the only one that thinks that's way.
Okay.
Don't do that.
Is this like the whole nurse thing?
See, now you're hating. You hate on a whole profession. Now you're hating on a whole fucking country. Okay.
Anyway, it was someone was taking out the bananas in the grocery store.
This is made up. This is fucking made up.
I thought it was too, but it's real.
Okay.
So then they saw the spider, and I don't know what it looks like. I didn't look it up. But they thought it was a different kind of spider that was also bad. So they called whoever comes and picks up spiders. Spider-Man. Right.
Duh.
And then they couldn't find the spider. So they had to shut the whole supermarket down until they caught it. And then they figured out what it was. And it says, wait, what does it say here?
Jesus.
It can cause convulsions, hypothermia, and even blurred vision, besides the erections.
Jesus, that's a lot of fucking shit.
So it says, studies are being conducted on this creature's venom in relation to erectile dysfunction treatments.
Oh, see, it's like serendipitous.
So this is how
like treatments are found.
Yeah.
Hey, you know it's going to start happening. Motherfuckers are going to put spiders on their dicks. It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Well, I don't think it has to bite your dick.
Listen, I understand this, but what I'm saying is that people are going to put spiders
Oh,
on their
probably.
dicks.
Yeah.
Just like
You're
that little boy
probably right.
that was bitten by, he had a black widow bite him,
Yeah,
and
he
he
wants
waited
to
in
be
his room because he wanted to be Spider-Man.
Yeah. Duh.
Yeah, people are idiots.
Well, he's a child.
He's an idiot. I was a child too, and Spider-Man was around when I was a kid, and I have never heard of anyone.
Maybe you never heard of it because we didn't have the internet, but I guarantee you that happened.
You don't have to. Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yes, I guarantee you that happened. There was always some sort of special
My children
Timmy
have
somewhere.
the internet, and
I know.
I don't think they're letting their Spider-Man.
Listen.
But it's okay. It's okay. Why do we have to act like we don't live in a world where idiot adults were once idiot kids?
No, I get that.
Yeah, he's an idiot.
But I'm just saying, being an idiot isn't new. I just think we know of more idiots because we have the internet.
Okay,
that's my point.
But the kid can still be an idiot.
Obviously, yeah. But I think there was probably an idiot kid when we were kids who did that. We just didn't hear about it.
Mm-hmm. So there was a little flash article that I saw that I'm glad you reminded me that I wanted to talk about. It's on there, so I don't have the full details, so I'll just spit out like the headline.
Mm-hmm.
The headline was a Reddit post, and it was a woman that was asking, was she in the wrong for calling the cops on her sister? She came home to find out that her sister was breastfeeding her baby. Her and her sister had babies around the same time.
Okay.
So they were both able to breastfeed.
Okay.
It turns out that the woman who called the police was not breastfeeding. She had formula. The sister threw out all the formula and was breastfeeding her child.
That's not okay.
So let's say she didn't throw out all the formula and she was breastfeeding the baby because the baby was hungry.
Mm-hmm.
What say you?
It's fucked up.
Okay.
Unless you get it like the green light
to do it.
Yeah, that's not okay.
Yeah, I don't think it's weird.
No, there's women that do that.
Well,
there's women that do that as a profession.
And watch this. We have a whole history.
That's what I'm
American
saying.
history
That's a thing.
Slaves that
Not
were
by
breastfeeding.
Choice. Yeah, that's a whole nother fucked up thing.
No,
but I'm talking about
today. It's fine. And I'd argue, I think it's weirder to drink cow's milk than it would if you were a baby to drink another human's milk.
I guess like if you didn't run it by the mom or she didn't want you to do that, that's fucking crazy. Like Jesus Christ, you don't have to agree.
But if
it's not your place.
But if everyone's on board, I don't think it's strange.
And I also could see how a woman wouldn't want her baby on another woman's titty. Like women get breast milk from other women, but maybe not necessarily want their baby on another breast.
Yeah.
Some women don't care because I know that to be a thing too.
Right.
But you have to get the approval of the mother.
Right. Yeah, yeah. But then she threw out the formula allegedly, which makes it like, God damn. So she was trying to like prove a point. Like, I got this. Like, what? Why are you feeding it this poison?
It's not your place.
No, it's not your place.
That's my issue with it. Not that you're. No, I don't agree with her doing that. It's not your place to do that. No, I'm saying there's nothing wrong with baby drinking somebody else's breast milk. Mm-hmm. I'm saying there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Yeah.
All right. My thighs are getting cold.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, because you got those hoochie daddy shorts on.
Your mama. Let's get out of here. All right. We're actually out of here this time. Unless you want to talk about what you enjoyed about the last 100 episodes.
No, I'm past it now.
Okay. Did that hurt your feelings? Did you have something? Wait.
No,
yes or no question?
I genuinely did not.
Okay,
I genuinely did not. I just thought we were going to do that. And you were going to bring up stuff that we were going to talk about. Because you said it.
Maybe 200?
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. All right. But it has been it's been a good time.
It's been fun.
I'm not sure, I won't even say that. But regardless of who's listening, who isn't listening, the numbers, all that other stuff. I
genuinely feel like we do it for us.
Catharsis.
Honestly.
Yeah.
I don't know anyone that I know that listens. I know you know people that listen. So it's just like, for me, this is just like something we get to do together.
How come none of your people listen? Do you even tell them?
They know.
Okay.
Or maybe they do. We just don't talk about it. I have no idea.
Sometimes I find out about people that listen that I didn't think listen, and
Okay.
and then they, they might say something, and they're like, "Oh, okay, I didn't know you listened."
So that maybe that's a thing. I guess I really don't get to have regular conversations with people often, so maybe that's why it doesn't come up.
We've also lately done a really shitty job at putting ourselves out there. Like we haven't done any clips or anything like that.
I
Just
know.
because, but there will be some from this episode.
Yeah.
But I mean, a lot of that has just been, it's just a lot. So yeah, and I mean, it is my fault because I haven't done it, but I haven't taken advantage of the apps that they have out there that make it easier for people to take clips and then
we should do that.
Add the captions and all that stuff.
Is there something that I can do?
Yada, yada, yada. So yeah, but it's been a good time, and we appreciate you rocking with us. Even if this is your first episode, we appreciate you rocking with us. But this has been another episode of the Feelings First Facts Later podcast, the podcast where we saying shit, but we ain't saying shit. I go by the name Nathan Mitchell, and as always, I have done this with the lovely Cristina.
Bye.
Peace.